Hello students, today in this video lecture I will teach you mechanics. Basically mechanics is a branch of physics in which we will study effect of forces on the bodies. That means what you have studied in 11th 12th basically. That one, whenever force acts on any body starts its motion in the direction of resultant force. When body is in motion, then we'll analyze motion of bodies. Motion of bodies means this is the body, force is acting, say resultant force rightward, so this body will move in this direction. This is one effect of force. Now we have to analyze motion, means what? We'll find out displacement, we'll find out distance traveled, velocity, speed, acceleration, maybe components of acceleration, that maybe you can say along tangent, along normal means along radius, what you have studied in circular motion. This is called as analysis of motion. But other effect of force is what? Maybe force is acting, still body is at rest. This is also possible. That's why mechanics is divided in two parts. First branch of mechanics is called as what? Statics, in which bodies remains at rest. And other branch of mechanics is what? Dynamics, in which bodies are in motion. When bodies remains at rest, we'll analyze different types of force systems. We'll find out resultant. Then what we'll study is equilibrium. In that one we'll study again what? Friction. We'll study different types of force systems, how to find out resultant. In dynamics, bodies are in motion. We have to concentrate on it. Kinematics is one branch, other branch is what? Kinetics. So kinematics of particles we have to study, kinematics of rigid bodies we have to study, and kinetics of particles. In this video lecture, we'll discuss about statics, and in that one, a force system when force doesn't lies in one plane. Now there are two types of force system. Two types of force system means when lines of actions of forces lies in one plane. Imagine there is one thread, one end is fixed here, to other end I will apply force. That means this thread itself represents what? Line of action. So line of action is in the plane of board, means what? XY plane. One more string is taken, that means this one is one force, line of action is in XY plane. Other force is acting in the direction, line of action is in XY plane. One more force I will represent here. That means all the forces which are involved in a force system, lines of actions lies in one plane. Such force system is called as what? Coplanar. It is called as coplanar force system, right? Now if lines of action doesn't lies in one plane, that means one end is fixed here, other end is connected somewhere at different location. One end is fixed here, other end is connected to ceiling. That means now these are in three dimensions. That means forces which lies in different planes or doesn't lies in one plane, this force system is called as what? Three-dimensional force system or forces in space. Now in 11th 12th what you have studied? Resolution of force. We will get only two components, x and y. Now when force is in 3D, you will get how many number of components? Three components. One along x-axis, one along y-axis, and third one is along z-axis. Suppose a force is represented by a vector. This is a force. Now force is acting from say point A and its head is at B. Magnitude of force is what? Say F. Now force is acting from A to B. What you know? Coordinates of points. Coordinates of points are XA, YA and ZA. For point B, coordinates are XB, YB and ZB. These are the coordinates. That may be positive, negative, any combination is possible because it is in space. Now we will resolve force. How will resolve this force? So simple. This force will write in vector form. You will get direct components of given force. This is magnitude. Direction means from point A to B. That means what you know? Line of action. And you know magnitude of force. So when magnitude and line of action of force is given or known, you have to write force in vector form so that we will get components along x, y and z axis. This force in vector form means we will write with what? Bar equal to. Force is in vector form, right? Magnitude of force and its a dot product. This is magnitude. Dot product with unit vector along line of action AB. It is from A to B. Force is acting from A to B, unit vector along AB. Force is acting from B to C, unit vector along BC. Force is acting from P to Q, unit vector along PQ. Now you know how to find out unit vector. That means this is what? A magnitude of force dot. A dot product. Yeah? All you know how to find out dot product. Here you go. Now unit vector, if you want to find out coordinates of B minus A, that means what will get? XB minus XA I cap, unit vector along x-axis, plus now YB minus YA, what will get here? J cap, plus next is what? Z coordinate of point B minus Z of what? A. This is what? K cap. Unit vector A, that means in denominator what will do? Square root xb minus xa square plus yb minus ya square plus zb minus za square. Now all these are some coordinates. You will get some value here. If you take dot product, you will get some coefficient of I cap, plus you will get some coefficient of what? J cap, plus you will get some coefficient of K cap. What coefficient of I cap will get here is what? Component of force F along x-axis. What will get here? Component of force F along y-axis. What will get here? Component of force F along z-axis. Is this clear? Now once you will get these components, if for example, if I'll take what? Force equal to what? 30 Newton. Coordinates of point A are 5, 8, minus 3. Coordinates of B are what? Minus 4, 6, minus 2. If this force is acting from A to B, how will get components as per this method? Simple. Now what will do? XB minus XA. For this problem, this force F bar is F dot unit vector along AB. F is what? 30 Newton dot. Unit vector along AB, you have to find out coordinates of B minus A. Now see carefully. Coordinates of B minus A. Minus 4 minus 5. Minus 9 I cap. 6 minus 8. Minus 2 J cap. Minus 2 minus 3 means minus 2 plus 3 means what? Plus minus 2 plus 3. Here what? K cap. Divided by root of 9 square, 4 square, 1 square. 9 square is what? 81 plus 4 plus 1. That means how much you will get? Root of 86. That means this one is written as what? 30 upon root of 86. Root of 86. What you are getting? Minus 9i minus 2j plus k. Now simply multiply here by 9, will get what? Coefficient of I. That one represents what? Component of force F along x-axis. Then component of force F along y-axis. Component of force F along z-axis. Once you will get all the components, you can try the resultant force. If you will find out, you must get magnitude equal to 30 Newton. That means magnitude of force F or this one mod of F bar is what? Root of fx square plus fy square plus fz square. See here, as compared to coplanar, this is easy actually. Once you will get components, now find out what resultant of say 3-4 forces are given. So all forces will write in vector form. Simply add coefficients of I, what will get Rx. Coefficients of J, what will get Ry. Add coefficient of K for all forces, what will get Rz. So single force is given. This is a method. Now there is one more method, or depending on data given. In this case, what was given? Magnitude of force and line of action of force. Now if magnitude is given and direction is given, if magnitude and direction is given, then what will do? So see here, magnitude is known and direction. That means now line of action is not given. Direction is given means what? Inclination of force F with positive x-axis theta x. Inclination of force F with positive y-axis theta y, and inclination of force F with positive z-axis theta x, theta y, and theta z represents what? Inclinations. These are what? Inclinations of given force with positive x, y, and z axis respectively. Now if such angles are given, magnitude of force is known. That means what is known? Theta x, theta y, theta z, and F is known. How will write force in vector form? Simple. F bar means force in vector form is written as what? F. Inclination with x-axis is what? Theta x. So F cos of theta x I cap plus F cos of theta y j cap plus F cos of theta z k cap. That means what we are getting here is nothing but this is fxi plus fyj plus fzk cap. From this one we will get one interesting relationship. Fx is cos theta x, f cos theta x. Fy is what? F cos theta y. Fz is what? F cos of theta z. How will find magnitude of force F? To root of fx square plus fy square plus fz square, or you can say f square is fx square plus fy square plus fz square. Now fx is what? F cos of theta x square plus f cos of theta y square plus f cos of theta z iska square. This one is what? F square. Can we take f square common from first, second and third? F square cos square theta x, f square cos square theta y, f square cos square theta z. F square gets cancelled. What will get here? Cos square theta x plus cos square theta y plus cos square theta z. Cos square theta z equal to what? 1. Now in coplanar force system, if inclination with x-axis is given say 30 degree, so you will get with y-axis 90 minus 30 means what? 60. Here it is not like this. This is a relation between inclination. Normally what happens? All three angles are never given. Only two angles are given. Suppose theta y, theta z is given. You want to find out what? Theta x. This is very important. So cos of theta x becomes what? Cos theta x. Cos square theta x, if I'll write, it is what? 1 minus cos square theta y minus cos square theta z. That means cos of theta x is what? Root of 1 minus cos square theta y minus cos square theta z. But a plus minus आता है ना? A plus minus. This is very important. There you go. When answer of cos of theta x, this answer, if we will get positive, if we will select positive root, if we will take, right, then inclination theta x always will get less than 90 degree. And if we'll select negative root, then theta x will get what? Greater than 90 degree. That means which root will select, that depends on what? For that force, when theta x you have to find out, is not given in problem, and you have to find out along x-axis its component must be given, whether it is positive or negative. Say force of 800 Newton is inclined at an angle of some 30 degree, 60 degree with what? Y and Z axis. Any angles are given. Find inclination of force with x-axis. What is given? Given force and then inclination. But what should be given? Force which is acting along x-axis is positive or negative. If force is given as a positive, that means angle must be less than 90. That means we'll select what? Positive root. If component is given as what? Negative, we'll select what? Negative root. What angle we'll get is what? 90 degree. Is this clear? Yes. So we'll stop here. We'll continue in next lecture. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. जमलं का?